A federal high court in Abuja has struck out the suit against 119 protesters charged over the nationwide #EndBadGovernance protest. The judge ordered their immediate release from prison. The trial judge, Justice Obiora Egwatu, struck out the suit following an application by the counsel to the Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Abubakar, to take over and discontinue the suit. The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, who was represented by the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, Mohammed Abubakar, had at the proceedings announced his exercise of his power of Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution to take over the case from the Inspector General of Police. After granting the request by Justice Egwatu, the AGF proceeded to request for invocation of the same section of the Constitution to discontinue the trial of the 119 accused persons. And following no objections to the request from various lawyers representing the accused persons, Justice Egwatu granted the request and struck out the charges. Over now to Kano State, where officials of the state government, led by the spokesman to the governor, Mr. Sanusi Baturi, have welcomed the decision of the Federal High Court, which struck out the charges against some #EndBadGovernance protesters arrested from Kano. The team was at the court in Abuja to show solidarity with the teenagers who are being moved to the presidential villa, where they will be officially handed over to the Kano State Governor, Mr. Abba Yusuf. They will be moved to Kano today by air in the evening for rehabilitation and subsequent handover to their families. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, is expected to formally hand over the victims to Kano State, to the governor to be precise, at the presidential villa. And of course, earlier on, all of that happened before President Bola Tinubu directed the immediate release of all the minors who were arrested over their alleged participation in August #EndBadGovernance protest. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, announced this to State House correspondents during an emergency briefing at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. According to the minister, the directive follows an uproar over the trial of at least 76 people, including 30 children, who were arraigned last Friday for treason, destruction of public property, and disturbance and mutiny.
The President has directed that these children, these minors, be released immediately. This is, of course, without prejudice to whatever legal processes there are. The President has also directed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction to immediately see to the welfare of those minors and also take part to ensure their smooth reunion with their parents or guardians wherever they are in the country. Number 3, the President has directed that a committee will be set up immediately to be headed by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. It's actually an administrative committee to look at all issues surrounding the arrest, detention, the treatment, and finally the release of these young minors. And if there are any infractions found to have been committed by any official of government, be him a law enforcement agency or whoever that person may be, appropriate disciplinary action will be taken against him or her.
In the meantime, police senior officers, including all DCS, CID and heads of investigation units have been summoned by the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, over the welfare of younger protesters identified to be minors while they were in police detention. A statement released by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, says the police boss has ordered a thorough investigation into how the minors were treated. The police PRO also says the report of the investigation has been delivered to the IGP, who is currently away in Glasgow, where he is currently participating in the Interpol General Assembly. This follows a nationwide outrage over the arraignment of the minors at the Federal High Court. The protesters who were charged with treason looked malnourished when they appeared in court 3 months after they were arrested during the August hunger protest.